Hey guys, it's me, Coral. Welcome back to my channel once again. Today I'm making a video for my TBR for the Buzzword Readathon hosted by and created by Books and Lala, who picks a buzzword, so a word that she sees often in titles of books, and then that's the basis of the readathon. The word for this readathon is you. So any books with you, your, like you are, you know, yours. Is that it? I think that would probably be it, right? Okay, anyways. So I have my TBR picked out for that. The dates are June 12th to June 18th. So it's a week long. I think it's a Wednesday to a Wednesday. Anyways, so I have my TBR for that, and also I picked out a couple other books that were on my shelf. Some of them I've read, some of them I haven't, just as maybe kind of like ideas for anybody who might be wondering what to pick if you're doing this readathon, I guess. All right, so for what I plan to read for this, I've got 4 things picked out. I think that's probably a little too ambitious for me, at least, for just a week, but 3 of them are thrillers, which can sometimes go down quickly, so we'll see. The first one is not, though. The first one is I Remember You by Yrsa Sigurðardóttir. This is like a Nordic horror, like ghost tale. I've heard a lot of really great things about this book. It's just been sitting here. My neighbors are screaming. My neighbors' children, not them. They're having a blast over there. So that's my first one that I picked. I also have I Know You Know by Gilly Macmillan. This is a thriller. I have no idea what it's about, but I want to read it. I have another thriller that I planned on reading last month and I freaking didn't. Story of my life. But this is I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh, and I've heard great things about this one also. Okay, and my fourth one is maybe cheating a tiny bit, but I have Halcyon by Rio Ewers. So the word you is in there. I'm picking this one. This I know a tiny bit about. I know this has to do with like a fictional cult in some way. I've heard a lot of great things about this one as well. Just about Rio Ewers in general. So this one's been calling my name from my shelf for way too long. So I'm hoping that I'll just give myself the chance to read this one finally. So I found a couple other books on my shelf that I have read. Like I said, I have a couple also that I haven't. But as far as ones that I have read that would fit into this, in case you need some suggestions or some recommendations at least, the first one, very obviously You by Carolyn Kapanis. This might be the best book that I read last year. I think I will never ever forget about this book, I think is what it is. It just like sits on my mind all the time still. This would be a great one because it's so engrossing and it really just captures you and takes over your brain space. Once you start reading, you really have to finish it. Another one I would recommend is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This is a young adult contemporary novel. It centers around the Black Lives Matter movement. It's about a young girl named Star. Her and her friend are driving in the car. Her friend's the driver. He gets pulled over and he gets out of the car and the police officer shoots and kills him. So it's a hard hitter. But this is another one that I at least just zipped through. It's not my normal type of book, but I really, really loved it and would definitely recommend it. Another one that would fit for this is This Spirit Catches You and You Fall Down by Anne Fadiman. This is a nonfiction book I read this when I was in high school. It was actually a book that I got to choose for a class. And this book was so interesting. It's about a family from Laos who come to America, and they have a daughter who has severe epilepsy. So she's having a lot of seizures. And in their culture, they call this the spirit catching you and you fall down. And it's about kind of the clash of our Western medicine that most of us use in America and Eastern medicine. So it's really interesting, kind of heartbreaking at times. I don't know. It was a really great book, and I liked it so much that I bought a copy of it after I read it. I read it for a class and I loved it that much. So definitely worth a try especially if you like nonfiction or things involving medicine and stuff like that. The next one I have is Will Haunt You by Brian Kirk. I read this one a couple months ago and I thought it was okay. So I'm not sure if this is really like a recommendation. I don't think it's like an unrecommendation, because I'm not saying that nobody would like this book. I just, it didn't quite wow me, but it would fit into this, and it's a horror book. Obviously, if you are more into horror, then I feel like a lot of the books that you would more easily find for this would probably be thrillers. But this is a horror book. It's quick and easy. It's barely over 200 pages, so it would be really good for a quick readathon like this. Okay, and then I just have a couple other books that I found on my shelves that also have you. I have Because You Live to Hate Me. This is a YA anthology centering around villains. So this would be an easy one to get through because it is an anthology, and those usually, for me at least, go down a little more quickly. I also have another thriller here, I See You by Claire McIntosh. This is another one I considered reading at least. I just decided not to. I don't know. I have no idea what this is about. Something about a subway. And it's thrilling, I'm sure. I have another thriller here, Are You Sleeping by Kathleen Barber. Not really sure what this is about either, but it is short. It is a thriller. Like I said, you could probably zip through this pretty quickly. My last two I have here are both true crime books by Anne Rule. I have You Belong to Me and If You Really Loved Me. If You Really Loved Me is about one whole case, so this one might be hard to get through if you're trying to read other books in a week. But this one is part of her Crime Files series, I guess it would be, where she talks about different cases, and it's like a smaller snippet of cases rather than one whole book about one case. So these are a little bit easier to get through, a little bit quicker. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 cases in this one. That's all I have for you though. Let me know if you're participating in this. This is the first time I'm doing this readathon. I've watched all of Lala's like announcements and stuff, but I've always been either I can't find anything good to read during the readathon without having to like rent or buy or borrow other books. Like the last one was like who, what, why, when, where, how, something like that. And I could only find like 2 books on my shelves that had those words. So I just decided not to participate. And I think the other ones before that, I just had other books going on and I couldn't take a week off to read more stuff. So I'm excited to do this one finally. And yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you again for watching. Like I said, let me know if you're participating. Let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know if you have other suggestions. Yeah, just let me know. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. But until my next video, I will see you later.